Well, this next story took off on Twitter overnight. A rare request from Australian authorities had an Air Canada flight veering off course when the crew was asked to help with a distress call. Chris Brown spoke to some of the people on board.
It was a pretty routine 14-hour trip across the Pacific for Air Canada Flight 033 when Captain Andrew Robertson received a most unusual request from Australian Search and Rescue.
If we had the fuel, could we investigate an emergency beacon that had just gone off?
Vancouver-based singer Jill Barber was back in the passenger cabin on her way to Sydney for a concert tour.
I think everyone's heart started beating a little bit faster. Anything out of the ordinary on an international flight like that is a bit concerning.
With 270 passengers on board, the giant 777 Boeing suddenly became an enormous search and rescue aircraft. The pilot diverted and dropped from 38,000 feet to just under 4,000 feet, or 1,800 meters, and told everyone in the back to scan the ocean for a stricken yacht.
They said, you know, we'd really appreciate it if everyone could look out their windows, and if anybody has any binoculars that could help us identify this yacht, that would be really helpful.
Up front in the cockpit, 2 relief pilots and 2 flight attendants joined Captain Robertson.
We're doing this big sweeping right turn, and almost immediately they said, oh, we see something, but doesn't look like there's anybody on the boat.
Turns out, though, there was one man alone and adrift at sea for up to 3 weeks after the mast on his boat snapped.
You know, we cheered and we applauded, and I think we all felt kind of a sense of pride.
This retired pilot says he's never heard of anything like it in the 40 years he's been flying.
Because here at least we got islands, we get an idea. But if you're in the middle of the ocean, you see nothing and the waves are going, so you have to have a certain amount of luck.
Oh, we were totally ecstatic. I thought trying to find a small boat in the middle of the ocean, I didn't think we were going to see anything.
The Australian Coast Guard later picked up the man in the yacht. From the time his distress call went out to when he was spotted by the plane was no more than 25 minutes. Chris Brown, CBC News, Vancouver.